Hi everyone, it's Ed from Mindseye. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started a little bit here. Happy New Year to everyone. Let's see. So something like nothing of new event, but really, it's like nothing to be new, nothing to like sue anything. But in reality, like there was something like something has to be done because when it went to like many people pushing like lawsuits that we were seeing in the media, it actually went to like cold stone therapy. Cold stone therapy. Now, when I look at this and I say, looking at Mandami, um, accused of deleting posts on anti Semitism, and then we have this, like, how is that related? It has to do with lawsuits. Something about lawsuits came in over the last like 24 to 48 hours of readdressing everything again. So when we do this and you say there's something like of an emotional offer that was coming, and it had to do with like paperwork, it had to do with like contract, it had to do with like a ton of other things. I almost can't even get my words out today. That it actually hurts really, really bad. There's something that the American public, and to probably like probably half the globe right now, that they're just having a hard time. So when I see this Ten of Swords, like right here in reverse, like there's no ending to it. Like people have a hard time like finalizing lawsuits because when you actually have the retainer and then you actually pay the hourly rate, as some people know, it adds up really hard. So that's why lawsuits stay into the court system a really long time. So when I see this and I see the Seven of Wands, there is this type of struggle with like apathy when you see this like where it comes, but then like everything kind of like lifts up all of a sudden. So it like it comes in really fast. It's almost like this like grace and this like blessing that comes in for quite a few people that they get to actually like look at everything and say maybe there was something more to the situation, that grace has to be given. Like we were having in Providence, Rhode Island, we had one judge who would do that, and he would look at them and like bring them in, and they would come in like, oh my god, I got a parking ticket. And the reason why I got a parking ticket is because I had to like park in this like scene in this spot, and when this happened, like I had nowhere like safe to park, and that was the only place. And so I got a ticket, and I can't pay the ticket because I had to get medical care. And like that comes in. It really goes to show on like how like down to where like policy and procedure and protocol can be so cutthroat heinous to a situation, to the point of where other people are like, yeah, it's like this new journey, this new beginning, as like relative as it is with this new year coming in, that it is sitting a little bit better. As I look at my governor out here in Connecticut, where he says 2026 is going to be the year that Connecticut is like the way it needs to be, even though it looks like it is probably falling apart. Um, like when I look at this, it's like all of a sudden, even though many people are not a fan of, Mayor Mondami, and then there's another socialist out in Washington State who is coming in. There's something about how it was like kind of coming in the way it needed to be, whether you like it or not. So when I look at this and I see the King of Wands, I really don't see anything about like violation of like as a psychic like energy around it, and how he raised his right hand on the Quran, because it stated where he places his hand to be sworn in as mayor was to be used as his own source, and who he is connected as source. So if he is connected to Allah, and Allah is considered a prophet, then there's really nothing like wrong with this. So now they're talking about how maybe some of these things like were redacted about anti-Semitism. I could believe so. Maybe like taken out on his discretion of what was best and what was not, because things were thrown at him in the political run. So when I look at this and I see the Seven of Pentacles, it's something that is like well together that I see to this like where people actually are going up to each other and like having this cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and they're like, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" Like they're having these like courageous conversations, as I say. And when I see this and I see this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, that you actually can't even like look at it at all. So when I look at this and I say Knight of Pentacles in reverse, there's no money on the table, but it's well. It's really well. When you see this and you see the Knight of Cups in reverse, like you can't actually take it back. You can't take it back. Excuse me. Okay. Let's look at what else do we need to know. What else do we need to know? Alrighty. So we had this issue with Switzerland. Now we're having some like kick up a tick up in the Middle East again. I was like I'm not really seeing as a correlation. But you really can't even like really see it well through. Alrighty. So when you see this and you see the King of Swords, there's something legal, there's something judicial, there's something of like cold cut turkey that's being cut off in that general area. When I see this and I see the Five of Cups, I actually see like it's a type of disappointment. It's a type of like resource that's being cut out over there. When I see this and I see the Four of Swords in reverse, like it's causing the unrest. I actually see pain in their bones at times. So when I see this and I see the Nine of Cups, it really is this like type of like giving of prudency. It's all like grandmother, grandfather like. Now when I look at it and I see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it's not a well securement. And when I look at it in the Ace of Wands, it really is like a put out to a shutout to a push out. And when I see this and I see the world like completing like a goal or a cycle or anything of that nature, that you actually can't even. So when you see this and you see the Empress in reverse, it has to do with toxic feminine energy. So as I talk about magician work, and I've talked about how witches and warlocks and warlords are, if they are masculine or feminine energy, there's something about it, and always know that even men can have feminine energy. So you don't can't and say that it is like a man or a woman doing this. So when you see this and you see the Page of Wands, it is like a spark up when it happens over there. And when you see this and you see the Two of Swords, like it's unbeknownst on how it goes. I'm just going to try to, there we go. We can see a little bit better. Okay, so I see this and I see this Queen of Swords in reverse. You can't actually like do like a whole lot of things. Like there's like all of a sudden something is like found. I just caught that like was not supposed to be in certain areas. And I wouldn't like call it like in, but it's like one of those things like you're hiking or you're out in the community, like maybe you're a clinician and you're going to like a home visit and you're like, oh, what is this here? What is this here? And you see this and you see the Queen of Swords in reverse. You go to the Fool. You go, well, there's something about this like new journey that's not like really sitting well, doesn't make like a whole lot of logic. When I look at this and I go, the Wheel of Fortune, there's no luck to it. When you see this and you see the tower, you go, it's such a disrupt of abrupt that you can't even believe what happens next. All right, what else do we need to know? January 2nd. Okay. Alleviation of difficulty in some areas, January 2nd. What else? There's something about tone. Again, it's coming in tone, like tone it down a notch, tone it here. Like it's like a happy surprise if something's coming in. I'm seeing by the 29th. The 29th, like people are like, oh my God, like I can't believe that was right there. Like there's something of the burden of like the American public to many, many places. I'm seeing like 3 other countries that when they see this, like so here it is, actually confirmation of the 501s that struggle and then unhappy. And this is like something new. It's not really like your typical type of struggle that you have normally. When you look at this, though, it's like a new beginning. It keeps saying it in multiple cards. You can't have even like communication. Like it's like upon discovery. I don't know why I'm like all of a sudden like you're watching Discovery Channel and something about shark. So when I look at it and I see the Knight of Cups and you see the Hanged Man in reverse and you see the Knight of Swords in reverse, you go, there's like something of like stale wind as I call, and then like a long pause. You look at the Eight of Pentacles, something or like someone was like really skilled while they sat and when they talked and when they did it, they were able to like build something in. There's something about like banking that will come in, which is funny because we just had the IRS like brackets come in. There's something not well planted or manifested. It does like have this alleviation, like it's not a finality of relief that causes a lot of pain. But all of a sudden, like I don't know why, there's like a new job like type of title in the United States. So when I see this and I see the Empress in reverse, it has to do with nasty feminine type of outlook. So when I look at it and I say it's not digging like misogyny, which is toxic masculinity, it's odd. So the Five of Cups actually is showing that how hard it is. It like when you see it, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna be abrupt, but when they look at it, they go, where did you find this? Because this is actually a good thing. We didn't know this was here. When you see it, you see the Four of Pentacles. I'm seeing like 4 to 5 places to 45 places have it. Four of Pentacles in reverse. There's no securement. There is something about guarding, well balanced. When you see this and you see the King of Cups in reverse, no attunement or alignment. And it brings me back to like Reiki. There's something, no attunement, no alignment. There's partnership though. There's like a type of partnership that actually came in through. It had to do with like senses of judgment, like the clear sound mind judgment senses. When you see this and you see the Strength card, and then lastly with this, the Three of Wands, like you couldn't see it on the horizon to actually this coming in. Right, this something about the plane. Like you had to not even be psychic, like you had to sit and feel it intuitively hard. Here we go. Okay, so when you see wolf and you see mouse, there's something of like um one of those things that happen that you would see when an event happens where you don't hear about it. It's like before um energy locks information up. So when I see dragon and I see turtle, there's something about Native Americans this year coming in. It's highly occulted, highly locked. So when I see the bat and I see the cosmic egg and I see the dolphin and I see the raccoon, something about a gamble to the Procter and Gamble that I keep talking about, it keeps coming up. When I look at the crocodile, I'm actually looking at Florida. There's something about Florida that happens. When you see this, it literally is like, why do I see Tehran? Alrighty. What else do we need to know? Havoc, joy. This is around the 29th. Like collecting. When you see this, you see soul. So when I look at this, there's something about a hidden game, hidden game, hidden game. This one is almost making me like pause, like the energy is so hard, it's making me like do this, which is really rare. When you see Rydell, when you see like Algis, when you see like in the D's and like at night, there's something like it does like happen with that saying, like it happens overnight, but you actually can't actually raise it. So as I'm seeing as like when they said watch the waters, watch the dam, watch everything, like you can't go on and go known, but you can like go like bow above and like see above through because you can't actually like do it, and when you do it you can't actually be above it. So when you like see and sue on through, you can't even believe how hard it was to actually like get certain things out. So it's like a natural like earth event that happens. That's what I'm saying as a psychic, boiled into simplicity of watch the waters, to the point of how well like feminine energy is connected to the earth, that when you actually look at amniotic fluid, if they test it, something is like not right. So when I actually look at it and I go, you can't full blown like get out. You actually have to research it through environmental science on how the environment reacts. So, like right now, as we talked about on Patreon, about how cover law and like formidable review was like, and a formal review was coming in, and how earth signs were going to be like heavily, like vastly, like gifted. There was something like born to give out away. Um, so when I'm seeing this and it's like heavily faded, like you can't control it. So when we say like you can't stop what's happening, it won't ever, because it's universal fate. So that's where we get into this underground patriot movement. So why do we say that? So I'm just gonna put the runes like away. Like you can't actually like go through it hard and be like. So I actually saw like a clip it right here on the news. Kevin Costner, he's walking on the trail. Like you actually have to switch up like how you do things with an instinct and intuition as you walk on a hike during like certain times of the year, because you gain more information and relax a lot more. So when you see this and you go gift, so there's something about volcanic ash that you can't actually see. Like, so when you go to a spa and like you use like a volcanic ash, like on like a scrub, and your skin looks better, you go, oh my gosh, like it really does work. There's something about like a freeze, and you go, you know, warrior and Degas to like Canu, which is actually like there's like I don't know why I'm it's like led right back to the Astors and the Vanderbilts and Getty and all those old families where they say in the flora and the fauna of parties, like Eyes Wide Shut movie, where you walking in and it's like a masquerade and you're not to know who is due that day to be done. So I go and it goes it like it's like people who are so heavily grounded in spirituality like almost command the energy of like pushing it through. So then you go into like this conspiracy theory of like what is true and what is not. So when you see Othala and you see Taras trolling to the stone, no rolling stone, and then you go, the rolling stone catches no moss, and you see like strength. There's like a type of like, I don't know why that was hard to get out. That is like Ireland. Something is like going on in Ireland where I'm seeing it as the 800 orphans are going in to have this investigation. And like we had talked about with the 800 orphans, they are not consecrated. So, exhuming is okay per religious law, but you have to like penalty and like faulty fee, or you can't actually see it coming to do all and to do a done on it. Like I had said, it was odd with like fostering and odd with adoptions during that time frame from the 1800s to around like 1956 on how women and responded to everything. So when I see it and I see and honestly, there's a type of luck of power, like a turnout, a churn out, like down a churn of butter. When I look at this and I see wealth and I look at like living and like flow, it actually is like blocking up of something. That was like a lot to get out, even for January 2nd. Usually it's not like that. I don't know why the next 3 or 4 years, like it's heavy, heavy psychic readings. Still like repeat and repeat and like picking it apart. Because there's something to this. There really is something to this. All right. Let's go to a Pleiadian Oracle and then we'll go to a Literary Witches Oracle. All right. Mother, Father, Healing, and Star Centers. There's something about a call center, command center. They're like, we were like ready like in the 90s for these things. It's still there. It's still happening. There's something about taking a chance. There's something about the passion of this. There's something about remembering, something about like the fifth dimensional access. And then when you see this universal knowledge, you go, there's something was already known. All right. When you look at this and you see sacred geometrics, and you look at this and you see telepathy, to like when you see like mothership, it's odd, and then Maya, there's something a full abrupt of a give out to a come out. Now there's something about star royalty. Yeah, there's something about people coming out and like they're finally like settled down on this situation. Again, mother father healing. It's talking about star centers. It's talking about universal heart, like a compassion. But I don't see it like hard celebratory. I'm seeing like individuals come out of their house and finally talking about like these podcasters. I'm seeing people who talk on here about news and like the psychics, the mediums, any of that. There's something about like sacred union about this too. And when I see this and I see like Lightning Boy, I actually have to say like it's about like a follow through that comes through, and you can't actually do it. There's something about a game and a gamble, and so when I look at it, you go, it's okay, it's legal. You can play a game and like come out and play. You're not going to be dinged on gambling. It's like a morale booster for the communities right now. Okay, so you see the light of the world and you see the Oracle Delphi. It's heavily prophetic, heavily. When you see these two. There's something about like no bread about it. Master Artesian. There's no message. There's no message. When you look at this and you see the chess game in reverse, there's no pull out or pull on through. When you see this and you see like opposing worlds, opposing views down to the mirror. When you look at this and you see the waterfall and you see like faded meeting, there's something about being out in the whole like being in the woods, of being in nature, and like it all comes in and settles down. So when I look at this and I see the garden, there's no cultivating of something coming in. And when you look at it and you look at the Buddha prepares, there's something about sitting alone again, sitting alone. This is something of like a pulling apart in a study that's coming in. Okay. Literary Witches Oracle, what do we need to know? This is almost like a pull on out, a pull on out. When you see this and you see rabbit and you see eye, Art Mangione faces charges in New York, Pennsylvania federal court. So again, we have justice, we have pond, we see apple. There's something of like going to town and having that like senses, something about his senses. Health toxicity, it's not even like talking about it. I don't know why I keep hearing Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner. Something odd that, again, I'll address that. Like, he did something odd that he usually doesn't do. And I see, like, fate, like, it's literally fate. Literally, it means it like unpredicted to happen. When I see this and I see braid, when I see chicken and I see mushroom, this is like an old like Irish type of leprechaun uh, issue. I can't even believe I said that. When I look at this, I'm like, go get some clover and go get something like when they used to do cluck. So what I remember from law enforcement when I grew up around it, like you have St. Patrick, and when you have St. Patrick, he did cluck. He used to catch criminals, and he'd go like that, and he would like knock it out of their mouth, like they were so built in, like people in their mouth, like speaking their words for them, that you'd catch it. So when I look at it and I see toad and I see wildflowers, like there's a like type of grotesque humor that you're seeing like to this like wit fun of like a stir up. There's something about horse that just came through. So I look at this and I see Shirley Jackson and I see family. You can't even make it up. All right. We'll go to a couple more things here. Starseed Oracle. Supreme Court weighs birthright citizen order. Okay. So when you have heritage on the topic in national news, what do we need to know? Energetic sovereignty is already what is not yours. Yeah, birthright, you will. Definitely will. When you see devotion, potency, make yourself a living prayer. Like it's that study between the oldest or the middle and like that theory, especially I don't know why I'm hearing Pavlov's dog. Conditioned, not conditioned, reconditioned. Is something I'm seeing like siblings and they're like embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Like if anyone has been a parent, like they actually see this. I see this. I see isolation, physical connection, community. Sometimes it's seen in the community. And then when you look at this Mars anger, conflict, softening the love, you can't even believe it. When you see this and you go questioning everything, anything aligned must go. They just like end up like cutting it right out. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Absolutely. There's something about these star seeds and these crystal children who are just so drawn to the universe that they are like the people who are like on worlders. So aligned and attuned that you actually can't even believe it. Okay. There's something about warrior. There's something about like luck and a game. There's something about a house. There's something about like something at night that caused like a freeze. A power of like a gift. When you see this, like defense. When you see this and you see lagu, which means like a type of flow, like the way and like it came out and it caused like havoc. It caused like a lot of havoc in like multiple spots. It's like one of those things like, how did you get this place? How did you get this like job? And you're like, I just got it. There's something about like something about ash. I'm seeing like an urn, actual urn. I feel like it's ancestry. When I see this, I see it's like stone to tone, stone to tone. And lastly, like when you like go about, you can't even believe it at all. Like you're just going about your day, and all of a sudden it's right there, exactly what you needed and what you wanted. Okay. Lastly, we will do the Lenormand with the crystal quartz. What else do we need to know? Okay. Starry, Starry Night, I hear. Book of Love. When you look at this and you see like this like crane, and you see this and you see like farming, and you look at this and you see rooted, and then like marriage to like heart is something about like reuniting, and then something about, I actually see like the Navy. I'm seeing like historical periods of the Navy. What did the Navy do with generations? I'm looking at this. I'm seeing like what is this? It's an old show. Old show. I can't even get it out. Can't even get it out. 1800s. It's an old TV show. When I look at this, like you open it out and like you get a letter, and then you have to go out to sea because you have to see family. And when you look at this, you go, you know, there's something about this. And then like something about you go to church and there's like a blessing to do. So when I look at it and I go, here it is, like we have this like no step on snake. It goes right back to the underground patriot movement. All right. Something about like Old Town Road again. Old Town Road, like forlorn, like adorn, be a bay. Something about like an actual dough, like a do re mi fa sol la ti do, to a tank, to a tink tank, to a tink tank, and be a bay, to a pink, to the pink elephant, to a pink elephant, to an actual like looking about, and you're like, why is there like a baby? Why is there a baby? And you go, you can't even like make it up whatsoever. So when this happens and you go and you see it, you go, there's a whole lot of everything that can go on. Why I'm seeing is like the 70, 80 places, they like just show up. You can't even make it up. So with that being said, that's all I got to say and what we got to do for today. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.